enough? Can you hear me better?
Yes, ma'am.
So everybody is here. Okay, so what did I tell? I was talking about the contents of ischiorectal fossa. Ritika. So you are seeing basically fat and you can just read the contents here. Apart from that, I talked about like pudendal canal with pudendal artery, vein and nerve. So apart from this, we also see perforating cutaneous branches of S2 and S3. Okay.
Ma'am, your voice is breaking.
Voice is breaking. Check if it is still breaking. Is it breaking?
It's audible. No, ma'am.
Is it not audible?
It's audible, ma'am.
Okay, beta. Now after that, now we are coming to clinical anatomy. So in the clinical anatomy, we will talk about ischiorectal abscess. Abscess means what? There is infection. Okay, so ischiorectal fossa is prone for infection because we know it is very close to anal orifice. Okay, so in the anal orifice there may be clinical conditions like boils, abrasions of perianal skin, lesions within the anal canal, pelvic infections. Okay, any sort of these infections can easily cause infection to the ischiorectal fossa. So ischiorectal fossa will get loaded with bacteria. It may be via blood flow also. So if there is any pus there, you call it as ischiorectal abscess. This I told you, fat in the fossa where it is loosely arranged, there your swelling can occur without tension and little pain. Okay, and there is a recess, no, heart-shaped recess. So which is connecting right ischiorectal fossa with left ischiorectal fossa. The difficulty with this is if there is any infection in right ischiorectal fossa, it gets easily spread to left ischiorectal fossa. Okay, that is infection. And then now, obviously, in ischiorectal fossa, there are, except for that pudendal canal, we do not have very much very sensitive structures or very important structures, so that if there is any infection, we can easily drain this. Okay. So, if there is, suppose if the person is not taking any treatment and infection is continuing like that, then abscess may burst into anal canal. Okay, and there may be a new passage developed from the anal canal to the surface of perineum. To form a new passage, you actually call it as anorectal fistula or fistula in ano. Okay, that means see, abscess is bursting into anal canal. That means from the ischiorectal fossa, the new passage has extended to anal canal. Okay, which can open into the surface of perineum anywhere. So from there also fecal matter will come out from this new passage. So this is what is called as fistula in ano. Fistula means always a new route. New passage is fistula. Okay, anorectal fistula. Now you see, this is the fistulous tract. This is our ischiorectal fossa. A new passage has got connected from the ischiorectal fossa to the anal canal. And we know this whole area is perineum. Instead of anal canal, the fecal matter coming out, through this new route also the fecal matter can come out. So this tract is called as fistulous tract. Okay, because of abscess you will see this type of defect. If there is any infection in the ischiorectal fossa, there may be like new passages. Okay. And
Mom, did you start just now?
just now I started with, and I will be sharing one more
Oh,
PowerPoint also with diagrams. Okay.
yeah, okay.
Telling theory,
Okay.
nothing to worry. So fat in the ischiorectal fossa is actually, it's like a cushion, no? It is supporting rectum and anal canal. Suppose if the person is doing too much of dieting for kidney also, I told you, if kidney is also surrounded by peri-renal fat, no, para-renal fat. That fat is actually very important. So in case of debilitating diseases, if this fat is lost, you will see rectum can come out through the anal orifice. Okay, if there are no fat is supporting on either side of rectum anal canal. What do you call this condition as? Rectal prolapse. Rectal prolapse. Okay, there can be a condition which is called as hiatus of Schwalbe. I'll show and discuss better. Hiatus of Schwalbe means, see here, I told you what is the name of this fascia, anal fascia. This is inferior fascia of levator ani, and this is obturator fascia. Sometimes where I'm scrolling arrow, there may be a gap. The inferior fascia of levator ani may not fuse with obturator fascia. So sometimes there may be a gap here, which is called as hiatus of Schwalbe. So what is the difficulty with this gap? If there is any gap, abdominal organs can herniate into the ischioanal fossa. Abdominal coils of intestines are there, no? Ileums, isn't it? So that is, so the last point is actually telling you, occasionally a gap is existing between the tendinous origin of levator ani and obturator fascia. What is the name of this gap? Hiatus of Schwalbe. Okay, through which you can see the pelvic organs can herniate into the ischiorectal fossa. Okay, now what this space already I told you. What is the space on around the anal orifice opening? Perianal space. So what is it bounded by? Inferiorly it is bounded by true skin. Superiorly it is bounded by perianal fascia. Okay. So if you continue this perianal fascia, when we discuss the anal canal, you will see like there will be one white line of Hilton. Okay. This we will discuss very clearly when we are discussing anal orifice or anal canal. Okay. That is. Now, I told you this perianal space is subdivided into numerous compartments, small locules by fibroelastic septa, and the fat in this space is tightly arranged. Okay, because of which any infection in this space, that is the perianal abscess, it will be very much painful. Okay, very painful. Now, what is the name of this canal? Pudendal canal. What is another name of Pudendal canal? You can see Alcock's canal.
Alcock's canal.
Alcock's canal, or it can be 3 marks question beta. Okay, Pudendal canal or Alcock's canal. It's a facial canal.
What's the spelling? Okay.
Sorry?
No, ma'am, I wanted to know the spelling of Alcock's. I got it now, ma'am.
Alcock apostrophe S. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
Alcock's canal. So this Alcock's canal, what is it containing? Van structures I said.
Pudendal vessels
Pudendal
and
vein, pudendal vessels and nerves. Okay, so pudendal canal is actually formed by splitting of this fascia. What is the name of this fascia covering obturator internus?
obturator fascia.
So obturator fascia is splitting to enclose this canal, that is the pudendal canal. Okay. So it is, see, pudendal canal is like this. When you just, I told you it is present on medial side of this tuberosity. What is the name of this tuberosity? Ischial tuberosity, isn't it? So when you see the hip bone, check the hip bone. This is greater sciatic foramen. Below the ischial spine, we have this lesser sciatic foramen. So that means it is extending from the lesser sciatic foramen to the posterior limit of deep perineal pouch. Posterior limit of deep perineal pouch. What are the contents of deep perineal pouch?
Bulbospongiosis.
The deep transverse perineal,
Cavernous. Oh yeah.
bulbospongiosis.
Oh yeah. Deep transverse perineum.
Yeah, deep transversus perineum and sphincter urethrae.
Sphincter urethra.
In case of females, vaginal sphincter also is there, no? Urethrovaginal sphincter. Okay, so contents, what is this? We have pudendal nerve, okay, and internal pudendal vessels. Actually, pudendal nerve is dividing in this canal into dorsal nerve of penis. In case of females, it will be dorsal nerve of dash.
Vagina.
No, I thought everybody will tell.
Penis.
Clitoris, no?
Uterus.
Clitoris,
Okay.
isn't it?
Okay.
And perineal nerve. Okay, so the pudendal nerve is dividing in the Alcock's canal here into the dorsal nerve of penis and perineal nerve. Okay, this picture I kept when I was taking perineum also. What is the procedure going on?
The Episa,
Episiotomy.
episiotomy.
Before episiotomy, beta, in fact, it is pudendal nerve block. The name of this procedure is pudendal nerve block. Okay. That means we are inserting the needle through the vaginal wall and injecting one injection. Which injection, beta? I told you the name of injection also. Which injection?
Some
do
name you told.
Lignocaine.
Okay. What is that name? Can you repeat?
Lignocaine, xylocaine, all these injections are generally
Okay.
used to give local anesthesia. Local anesthetic drug,
Okay.
that is. Okay.
Hmm.
So, what are you seeing on the screen?
Ischoanal fossa.
Okay,
Rectal fossa.
same thing only, beta. I just wanted to show few pictures which were not there in the previous. Okay. See, these are the recesses. Of course. Pudendal canal is this point. Okay. Now actually you are finding two triangles here, urogenital triangle and the anal triangle. This area is all fat is removed and this is nothing but ischiorectal fossa. And this is our pudendal canal. Okay. Everything is covered in the previous PowerPoint. See, lot of fat is here. This is Alcock's canal or pudendal canal. Okay. Contents also I told you, but clinical pictures are good here. That's why. You can see actually how is the pudendal nerve dividing here. Okay. In applied physiology, we will try to see the pictures here. See pudendal nerve block. That picture just now we saw in the other PowerPoint, no? Okay. We are just anesthetizing. See, this is the pudendal nerve blockage. See, now abscesses. Abscess means what? Pus formation, isn't it? Perianal, that means pus. Perianal. Peri, always this word is used to indicate what? Around the anus.
Around.
Okay. 60% of the infections we see around the anal orifice, that is the perianal. So ischiorectal will be anywhere in the ischiorectal fat. Okay, 20%. Intersphincteric. Intersphincteric means like horseshoe shaped area, right and left connecting. It will be 5%. What is the name of this muscle? Levator ani. Above levator ani, supralevator. 4% of infections will be supralevator. Submucosal. That means what? Just below this mucosa also we will see infection which may lead to abscess. That is submucosal. 1%. Okay. So that's all, beta. Okay, we'll stop here.
Yes, ma'am.